So this is quite a difficult video for me to make. It is a very unusual situation. We as a dealer have to order months, years, even decades before things are delivered. At the moment my back order is stretching back 8 years. So many models are ordered from basically a description and maybe a photo of the real thing, and this is no different. These are the 009 Fletcher Jennings by Bachmann US. When they were ordered, Bachmann UK were doing their narrow gauge range and producing superb models, let's be honest. The Bagley is really lovely, die-cast body, solid little thing, beautifully painted. Love the cab detail on that one, on Blanche, and I wish I could remember the logo's name, sorry, too many logos in my life. So that's kind of what we were expecting. And then as time went past, it surfaced that this was a Thomas and Friends model that had been zhuzhed up. Still, no concerns. We thought that the changes would be made to make it less toy-like. But in reality, what is there is a repaint. Let's look at the positives. They are actually really nice. The painting is beautiful, like the way they sit. The elephant in the room there, we'll come back to that in a second. And let's see. They run really nicely, and let's be honest, there aren't a huge abundance of 009 locos out there, so something small and good looking is what everyone asks for. And when you dig deeper, they're actually really nicely done. So it is quite a solid thing. I've undone a couple of screws to get the body off. So it's the screw deep in here between the cylinders and a screw in front of the pony truck axle. Those two come out. And there is a third screw in the top of the body to allow you to remove the cab. And that's a plastic part. This is a metal casting. So it is a beautiful piece of the toolmaker's art. A lot of this is metal as well. I think the footplate might be as well. Pretty sure. It's an engineering plastic crosshead, and you see that on a lot of models. Normally it's painted. That's my only concern there. So, oh yeah, and there is no provision for DCC, and given the space available, I'm not really that surprised. There is room there to hardwire a small chip in. If you're going to sound and power packs, then the only space is in the cab, so that's going to be quite compromised. I personally wouldn't. Simple DCC, non-sound, should be fine. There are pickups on all 6 wheels. So yeah, that's where we are with that. So there are actually some plus points in here. So we're looking for a solution, and I have actually done a detailed up version. Painted the crosshead, makes a world of difference. Some figures in the cab to hide the fact that there isn't a back head, and I have opened up the cab and fitted glazing. So you now have windows in there, and I've put some nicer coal over the top just to reduce the look of the cast coal. Now I appreciate that there's only coal bunker on one side on the real loco, but we have to work with what we've got. Now, so there were a number of options to deal with this situation. The first one you might think was to send them all back. Problem is, in the best will in the world, that would do damage to my standing as an account holder. I ordered these without seeing them, such is life. To a certain extent, I have to take that responsibility. There is contractual stuff and how far you want to press what it means by prices and specifications may change, are subject to change, I believe they say. So there's lots of things. It was going to get very messy. So I have to be more realistic about my solution to this. So the standard models, I've reduced the price to what they've cost me. So I cover basically my costs and free up the money to buy other stock. And then I've produced, at the moment, one of each in this updated livery with the cab figures, which I think are quite cute. You've got a couple of guys nonchalantly posed inside. So there we are. Actually, it does produce a good looking loco if you just solve a couple of the problems. The painted crosshead, I think, just so much better than the slightly translucent. That's a relatively simple fix. More realistic coal, that's just because I had some lying around in the shop and thought, oh, I'll just use it. The glazed windows, I think, are key. Just to open that cab up. I did debate making a scratch building back heads for it, or God forbid 3D print, but at this point that would be hours and hours of work that on a project that I'm going to lose money on anyway. So it's time to be realistic. We are a business, we've got bills to pay. So I actually really like it like that. Once I've run out of figures and the coal, that's it for them.